Did you know that 70% of nations worldwide have been influenced by military actions in terms of their cultural psychology? A fact that perhaps not many are aware of, yet it speaks volumes about the pervasive impact of military actions on the global stage. This statistic is not just a number, but a profound revelation of the between military movements and cultural psychology of numerous nations. But step back for a moment and elucidate what we mean by cultural psychology. Cultural psychology, in essence, is a fascinating field of study that examines the dynamic relationship between culture and the human mind. It delves into how these two elements are not separate entities, but intertwined threads that shape and reshape each other in a continuous, intricate dance. Now, imagine this dance being manipulated, modified, and meticulously choreographed by the strong, dominating hand of military actions. In the grand theater of global culture, military actions play the role of an influential choreographer. They dictate the steps of the dance, altering the rhythm subtly or drastically, imposing shifts in the performance's pace and style, and driving the overall narrative to take on a starkly different color and tone. This influence is not to the dance floor, but seeps into every corner of the societal structure. These impacts are manifested in multiple ways, becoming evident in the subtle nuances of diplomatic discourse, the rich and intriguing sphere of military psychology, and even the profound and visible transformation in cultural norms, values, and practices that define a nation's identity. Each military action, no matter how small significant, has the potential to alter the cultural trajectory of a nation, leaving a lasting imprint on its psyche. In this video, we're going to embark on an enlightening journey, exploring these intricate themes and understanding how military actions have sculpted the world as we know it. We will traverse through the corridors of the past, take a hard look at the present and speculate on the future, examining how the shadow of military might continues to shape our global cultural landscape. So, gear up and fasten seatbelts as we dive deep into the military's influence on cultural psychology and the consequential shifts in societal norms, values, and behaviors. Get ready for an intriguing journey into the past, present, and future of our global cultural landscape. Diplomacy is not just about peaceful negotiations. Military diplomacy has been pivotal in shaping cultures globally. Let's journey back to the Cold War era. This time, marked by political tension between Western and Eastern Bloc powers, instigated considerable cultural impact. The looming specter of nuclear warfare bred a culture of fear and distrust. Popular culture mirrored this through films and literature. Though militarily passive, this diplomatic face-off triggered substantial cultural shifts. Turning to the Middle East, the Arab-Israeli conflict is another potent of military diplomacy influencing culture. The perpetual conflict has shaped the region's political and social topography and significantly impacted the cultural identity of the people involved. The sustained tension and diplomatic endeavors to address it have influenced various cultural outputs, reflecting the region's struggle, resilience, and defiance. In the Asian context, the Korean War ensuing division of Korea into North and South exemplify how military diplomacy affects culture. The stark divergence between the two Korean cultures today is a direct outcome of their contrasting diplomatic and military paths post their split. Shifting to Africa, the decolonization process and the subsequent military shifts greatly affected the continent's cultural panorama. Military diplomacy has defined the course of several African nations, molding their cultural identities in the process. As we move to the present day, we see that military diplomacy continues to shape cultures. The War on Terror, for example, has significantly reshaped cultural perspectives and narratives globally, especially regarding Islam in the West. As we can see, military diplomacy has a far-reaching impact, shaping cultures in ways we might not immediately recognize. Military psychology is not just about the mindset of soldiers, it permeates the culture of a nation. This essential link between military psychology and culture molds national identity, benchmarks of behavior, and societal norms. Take the United States, a country steeped in military culture as an example. Elements of self-reliance, bravery, and the never-quit mantra often linked to the American dream are echoed in their military ethos. This psychology has formed an identity that prizes resilience and determination. In Japan, the shadow of the samurai warrior class endures. The Bushido principles emphasizing honor, loyalty, and courage have shaped Japanese society for generations. Despite military modernization, this code still impacts their military psychology and cultural norms. But the military psychology and culture relationship isn't always positive. In North Korea, the military has cultivated a fear and obedience culture. Here, the military loyalty to the state doctrine has pervaded societal behavior, suppressing individualism and dissent. Currently, the Middle East conflict has had notable cultural repercussions. The concept of military conflict martyrdom has reshaped societal norms, influencing everything from art and literature to family patterns. Military psychology also impacts gender roles. In Israel, where mandatory military service is a norm for both genders, it has fostered a culture promoting gender equality and resilience. These instances show how military psychology influences a nation's culture, molding its values, norms, and behaviors. This relationship evolves with each conflict, peace agreement, military leader, and soldier, weaving a rich tapestry of cultural identity. The ripple effects of military psychology are far-reaching, shaping our cultural landscape in profound ways. From fashion to language, military actions have left their mark on cultures around the world. They've influenced various aspects of society, often subtly and unnoticed. Take fashion, for instance. The trench coat, a current wardrobe staple, originates from the trenches of WYU. It was designed to keep soldiers warm and dry. Today, it's a stylish and practical solution to inclement weather, showing how military needs can evolve into civilian fashion trends. Aviator sunglasses are another example. Developed for pilots to protect their eyes during flight, they've evolved into a widespread fashion statement. They exemplify how military innovations often find their way into everyday life, frequently transforming into something more stylish and less utilitarian. Language has also been profoundly impacted by military actions. Many expressions and words we use daily have military roots. The term deadline was initially used in Civil War prisons, indicating a line beyond which prisoners would be shot. No man's land, a phrase used to describe an uncontrolled area, originated from the barren land between trenches during WWU. Art and literature have been significantly transformed by military actions. Picasso's Guernica, for example, was inspired by the bombing of a Basque town during the Spanish Civil War. It showcases the profound emotional and psychological impact of war. Similarly, Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five, a novel shaped by the author's experiences as a POW, demonstrates how personal experiences in war can shape literary expression. Food culture too has felt the impact of military actions. Spam, a canned, pre-cooked meat product, was widely consumed during World War II due to its long shelf life. Post-war, it became a dietary staple in many Pacific Island nations, showing how military needs can unexpectedly impact global culinary practices. These instances illustrate that military actions' cultural impact is not exclusively adverse. They can also foster unique cultural expressions and innovations. Military actions have a profound influence on our world, shaping not just the political landscape, but also the very fabric of our cultures, in ways both big and small. As we have seen, the military has a profound effect on cultural psychology around the world. The intricate and often complex interplay between military actions and cultural development is something that has intrigued scholars, historians, and sociologists alike. Beyond the obvious influence of military strategy and discipline, the military's influence seeps into the very fabric of a society's culture, its traditions, its values, its norms, and even its language. This all-encompassing influence can be seen in various forms, not least in the way military diplomacy shapes the cultural aspects of nations. Whether it's through peacekeeping missions abroad that foster respect and collaboration, or through the promotion of a sense of national unity during times of conflict, the military's role in shaping a country's cultural identity is clear. Furthermore, the psychological impact the military has on a society's culture is not something to be underestimated. Military psychology, with its emphasis on discipline, hierarchy, and duty, can have wide-ranging effects on a society. It can shape societal norms, establishing what is considered right and wrong, valuable and worthless, patriotic and treasonous. It's also important to consider how cultural changes often originate from military actions. History is replete with examples of this, from the societal changes brought about by world wars to the cultural shifts prompted by more recent conflicts like the Gulf War or the war in Afghanistan. These actions, whether they are historical events or current affairs, have the power to drastically alter a society's cultural landscape, leading to changes that ripple outwards and affect everything from social norms to artistic expression. Understanding the impact these military actions have on cultural psychology is no easy task. It requires a deep and nuanced understanding of both military strategy and cultural development. But it's an understanding that is absolutely necessary for anyone hoping to gain a comprehensive understanding of both global history and contemporary events. Studying this intricate relationship between military actions and cultural psychology can offer us valuable insights into the forces that shape our world. It can help us understand why societies evolve the way they do, why some nations are more peaceful than others, and why certain cultural practices persist while others fade away. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, interesting, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Stay tuned for more insightful content.